Okay, a rare moment on Capitol Hill this week as bipartisan criticism of Trump's nominee to be ambassador to Saudi Arabia swept Congress. Retired General John Abizaid defended the Washington-Riyadh relationship, saying it was of strategic importance as lawmakers accused the Crown Prince of going, quote, full gangster. So joining us now to discuss, former U.S. diplomat Jim Jatras. All right, Jim, first, Abizaid. Let's talk about him. What do you make of this pick for ambassador, and what do you make of his comments about the U.S.-Saudi relationship?
Well, if President Trump's goal is to drain the swamp, this ain't the way to go about it. I mean, if you're looking somebody who's going to just do business as usual with the crowd in Riyadh, I think General Abizaid fits the bill. As far as all this talk about full gangster and all that, I think there's a lot of posturing going on both sides of the aisle. Say, ooh, Khashoggi, this is tough. We're really mad about that. The slaughter in Yemen, we're not that worried about. But so I think they want to act like they're being very moral on their high horse, but they're all going to be invested in the big picture that you asked about, our relationship with Saudi Arabia as some kind of a partner in the region, which is, I think, one of the real pathologies in American foreign policy.
And what does this say to you that Trump tapped a retired general, of all people?
Well, I think President Kushner had something in mind with regard to having Saudi support for his peace plan in the Middle East and things like that. I don't even know how invested in this appointment President Trump really is. Really?
So now, we got to address that. You said President Kushner. Obviously, that is Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner. He obviously seems to have a really tight relationship with MBS, Mohammed bin Salman. How might this complicate things for any incoming ambassador with Saudi, if not the general?
Look, the general said he understands the chain of command. He reports to again, Secretary Pompeo and then President Trump. I think he's, if you will, a company man. He will take the establishment position, which is not really determined certainly by anything like, what was that America First thing we were supposed to hear, is that we have our regional partners, we have the Israelis, we have the Saudis, we've got a little problem with NBS, but nonetheless, we know who our guys are, and of course the Iranians are the bad guys.
But do you think he will be another Mad Dog Mattis? Will he stand up to the president and give a counterpoint, or will he be another yes man? Like you said, you called him part of the swamp.
Well, part of the swamp. There's a paradox built into that. Of course, when Mattis stood up to the president, it was standing up to the president's sound impulses to do things like get us out of Syria. And of course, Mattis was actually representing the swamp's point of view, which is we need to stay the course. We need to maintain all of these commitments. I'm not even sure there's going to be much for him to stand up to when it comes to the Saudis.
Okay, so Abizaid called for accountability on the Khashoggi murder, but I mean, overall, he kind of sounded a little bit soft, a little bit dovish on the whole subject. But he also touched on human rights violations. He mentioned Yemen. He talked about women's rights. What do you think lawmakers were hoping to hear out of the general in order to confirm him?
I think they were, as I said, I think there's a lot of posturing going on both sides. They pitched, he caught. It's all a little kabuki dance. I don't think it really signifies much of anything.
Do you think this guy will get confirmed?
I think so, yeah.
I mean, he's got obviously a squeaky clean background.
And we all love generals, and he speaks Arabic. You know, what's not to like?
He fits the bill, as you say.
Yes.
So the U.S. has done without an ambassador to Saudi ever since Trump took office. A, what took so long? And B, I mean, again, of all people, why, if it's Jared Kushner's doing, why did he pick this guy?
Because, again, I think there's a certain off-the-shelf aspect to this. He's a general. He speaks Arabic. He fits checks all the boxes.
Just easy.
It's easy, relatively easy to appoint him. Anybody they put in that job, they're going to have to do a little mincing around on eggshells to show how concerned they are about Khashoggi without doing anything to jeopardize the overall relationship with Saudi Arabia. So I think there's
2 years the seat's been empty.
In other words, they need to put on a good show, Manila. That's all it really comes down to, in my opinion.
So, I mean, but why hesitate for 2 years? Why not pull the trigger on anybody that could have fit this bill a year and a half ago?
Because when all's said and done, who our ambassador is in Saudi Arabia, it doesn't really matter that much. The Saudi ambassador here matters a lot more than our ambassador there.
Because it'll be business as usual.
Because business as usual, and let's face it, you know, second only to the Israelis, the Saudis own this town. They own the people in this town, and it's all part of the bureaucratic structure of, again, the swamp, which to date is not being drained.
And as you've said on the show before, this is the Bolton Doctrine, this is the Pompeo Doctrine, so it's just more of it.
And let's remember, March is the month for war. Whether we're talking about Venezuela, we're talking about Iran, its reason was named after the war god.
What, really? Okay, that's more Greek mythology you're going to tell me about later, I think.
In this case, Roman, but
Roman.
Same gods, same gods.
All right, we'll leave it right there. As always, thank you for your insight and expertise on this. Jim Jatras.
Hey YouTube, thanks for checking out our channel. We hope you enjoyed the video. We have tons of content for you just like this. For more of RT America's one-of-a-kind news and analysis, be sure to subscribe and never stop questioning more.